All right.
Hey, hi guys, welcome to this week's episode of Earnings Season. I am Randy at RT Row, and over there being silent this week is actually...
And I'm Danhai, Danhai. I'm not trying to interrupt you again, sir.
No, that's fine, that's fine. I'll call you sir, people I think that I'm your boss. God forbid. Where do I begin? It's been a while since I've heard from us. I guess I haven't heard from us since that Ryan episode.
Yeah, we're not very current, right?
Oh God. Yeah, with a lot. The one time we give them a gap is like one of the hottest weeks in a long time, eh?
And the people that watched the hidden episode before, messaged me all vexed saying, well, "This is the pilot, Danhai. Where's the new episode?"
I get a whole heap of that. No, but I hear this already. You mean I hear this already? What do you mean? No, man. So, you know, or somebody else tell me, say, yo, it really is hard to record every week, isn't it? But no, it's not. Thanks to BAM Productions, BAM Studio, big up BAM in the background as always, giving us a good podcast quality. But yeah, people really, some people liked it. To the people who didn't hear it first, they really liked it. They liked, as I said, they liked hearing you talk, because people give me a hell all the time, so you don't talk. So geez, they think, I think I drone you out. So let me make sure that you get ample opportunity to speak. It's just Dan and I this week. There's no guests. We didn't need any guests because I think we have good enough content.
Yeah.
And a whole heap happening in the market. So what's been up that night? It's been 2 weeks. Anything exciting
quite a lot happening
in the gap?
Proven, JMMB, everybody doing something.
Wow.
So, and then Boogie doing the live tweets for the JMMB.
Yeah,
AGM.
You know what? Let me cut you there. Sorry, let me cut you there because I've never said. I need to tell her thank you. I think I've told her thank you before, but let me audibly say thank you so she can type this on Twitter right now. Big up at NN Boogie, who is I enjoy following her tweets because she is a regular person. She's not in it at all. She's just a regular woman who do her job. Real estate is her thing, and she try out the stocks thing, and it has been working for her as she tries it out, and she's trying to approach it sensibly. But she's also, I guess, a fan of the podcast because she live tweets episodes as she listens to them. So big up NN Boogie.
Yeah, man. So yeah, she was live tweeting the AGM, JMMB AGM. So a lot was going on this week.
Yeah,
a lot of money on the table.
Yeah, what happened at the AGM? Something important happened at the AGM.
Oh yeah, man. They spoke about their share offer. The public offer of the shares that they're pushing, 325 million shares, I think. They're pushing for the public to acquire, upsize, bring some money, and do some deals that they want to do.
I remember seeing Boogie's tweet where she was saying something about they're not. She said, and I'm assuming she's saying it because it was said at the thing at the AGM. She said that it's not a regular rights issue, so you don't have to worry about being watered down. You don't have to worry about being diluted.
No, you're diluted.
Yeah, I don't understand what that meant. I meant to ask whether I never bothered. Twitter has become such a rough place for me these days. I never bothered.
If anything, something like this makes you more likely to be diluted.
Yeah.
Because everybody can go for it. Rights issue generally is just the shareholders, they can take a piece, and they take a piece percentage of the issue is the percentage that they have in the company already. So if everybody takes up, there's no dilution. Yeah.
So a good example of that is Barita. Barita is in a rights issue, but to get those shares, you really have to own Barita shares already. You have to have been a shareholder by a certain date. To be fair, JMMB has...
You beg the what left.
Has JMMB put out anything on what this actual offer is?
Yeah, man. I don't know they put out much. I don't think they told us the amount of money. They didn't tell us the price, I think. But... it's a regular public offer, so it's not that I'm getting a piece of the company and keeping the piece I have before. So everybody in the market can fight for that one little piece of the company. So
wow,
a lot of competition for that.
Well, let's hold off because maybe when we see the circular, the offer circular, it has terms in there. Maybe it has terms to like
generally. I expect that shareholders will get a piece. I think they did say that shareholders will be getting some of our preference, something like that.
So are you? You're sure that they've said that they're doing a completely public rights issue?
Yeah, man. I think the words. I think somebody said this is not a rights issue. It's a public offer for shares, and I'm sure shareholders are going to get some little piece where they can say, "Oh, you can buy in at this price," or you have a pool for yourself, something like that. But the public can apply for the shares. It's not going to be just JMMB. It's not a regular rights issue.
Well, I was looking just now while he was speaking on my phone, see if I could find some information. I could give you guys fresh information. I wanted to be clear on what I was saying, but that's the impression I have also. So it's, but then why that stood out to me was that I knew in the conversation, well, based on what she said, and again, this is just my assumption. She said, don't worry. It's not going to be an excess. It's not going to be an excess. She said, you're not going to be diluted. And I saw that, and it made my ears perk up because I know a rights issue. Dilutes. Yeah. So the only way it could not be a dilution is if you're going to be assigned shares no matter what, or if it's a completely different company. So it's like a different vehicle. You think it could be a different vehicle?
I don't think so. I think it's JMMB shares being pushed and people can go pick it up. Additional public offer, something like that, them call it.
Yeah, additional public offer. Yeah, which is popular these days. A lot of people are asking for money. Why do companies do it? I know people DM me those things all the time. Why do companies do it? Why do companies ask for more money? They just want more money. They want money to do something, and they'd rather use your money than theirs. Yeah. Why would they use theirs?
Often it works out for them, though. And it works out for you when it works out for them. So no problem with that.
Yeah. In this case, I believe they're using it to buy the 1/5 of the
this new Sagicor
Financial. Yeah. Yeah, 1/5, or as I said, which was public. This wasn't known before, so they're going for exactly 22%.
Yeah.
Which means the Sagicor group of companies across the Caribbean are going to become associate companies of JMMB. How far have we come as a country? Oh my God!
And there's more. I think there's definitely more on the line for Sagicor because apparently Sagicor has some insurance license in the States.
Sagicor Sagicor has an office. If you remember when that little when X1 was reorganized in a certain way. And some people moved around when the leadership change happened. One of the guys he left, and then I don't know if he left or he was brought back or whatever, but he ended up in Florida at a Sagicor branch. So he still works for Sagicor Financial, but in Florida.
I think they want to widen the footprint more than just where they are now. I think Sagicor's AGM, I think, where they spoke about how much was it the AGM that they spoke about how much insurance licenses they have the license that operate is more than just one state. It's across the whole US. Really? So I think they're trying to just push.
As in enter the US properly as an insurance.
I think so. Wow. So I will clarify that though. So
yeah. Let's look into that. But I'm sure somebody's DMing me right now as I listen to this saying, what Danhai was talking. Danhai doesn't know what he's talking about. He said, Danhai usually know what I'm talking about. That's a good point. That's an interesting point. The US market is a very attractive place if you can get there because because of the multiples and the US earning.
Yes.
You can earn lightly in America. So for usually, I mean, I don't know what the footprint would be in America, but the footprint usually for a company in America, you can go off smaller margins, and it means more to you in Jamaica because of what the US dollar is out here. Yeah.
I was just thinking, I always say this for businesses, the US is so big. You can, the cross-section of people you can push your product to is so large.
Huge.
Like you can hit a small part of the market, of a market, and you're banking just because so much people are in the US.
That's correct.
If it was push out to everybody, money made.
Mass market, a totally different kind of market though. That's just the funny thing. It's such a totally different kind of market. And that works out to all our favors. Another company has done that. And if you remember, I think either late last year or earlier this year, Access Financial bought a company in Florida. I don't think a lot of people remember that. They made a huge bond. They call it a global bond. So I guess everybody all over the world got a little piece of it. And they used part of the proceeds from that and bought a small loans company in Florida again. Nice company to have. And I think that's part of them broadening their footprint and trying to ensure that they have some continuity of income sounds fancy. Just make sure them keep making money in the future.
Especially with that regulation coming to box them.
Especially with what?
Regulations coming to box them for microcredit.
But isn't that already in?
It's already in. So they got sharked.
I don't think they're gonna get sharked. I think they're. I mean, I believe they're leading the industry, so they should be fine.
They're definitely leading the industry. And I said some 200 plus microcredit institutions in Jamaica. So
everybody
when they start acquiring, it's going to be so good for them.
You think they're going to acquire though? Because they've been quietly acquiring, you know. They have been, if you check their books over the years, they've been quietly acquiring small loans companies, which is smart.
I think it's best at this point because they're doing the best in the industry right now. So when the small man, say, his rate gets chopped down, then if Access take it up, then it's fine. If the small man can make as much money as he can, then as he's making now, and he's still a small player, then he can get forced out of the market at certain levels.
Yeah.
So if Access take up those loan books, then good for them.
That's true. Also, it's a thin margin, high risk business. All right, bad debt is a thing you always have to think about when you're doing those loans. So if somebody else want to take on this headache for me, and I'm going to pay you to do it, well, of course. Yeah.
It only makes sense for me for Access to start acquiring like that.
Yeah. You know who else I think should start do that? I've been begging for them 3-4 years and don't do it? JETCON.
Oh yeah.
Please, you're wet.
Trust me, you know I know you've been begging.
I mean, I love JETCON. I've been trumpeting JETCON from before that IPO. Big up John Jackson, the chairman.
Yeah.
Big up John Jackson, the chairman, and big up JETCON himself. Lots of people have made a lot of money off JETCON over the years.
No, we've made a lot of money off JETCON.
Yeah. But no, funny enough, JETCON is...
Yeah, they're going through problems right now.
Yeah, they're going through a rough time, I think. I saw an article on one of those online sites asking if it's time for them to start showing unit sales, because companies in Jamaica tend not to do that.
Not to do that. I would love to see that, to be honest.
Yeah, I try to remember if it was IC Insider, which is always funny. It's always funny when IC Insider says things about some companies to me.
Yeah.
It's always very funny. But yeah, JETCON, I think, would have that, because you think about it, JETCON in its entirety, as huge a company as it is, because it's not doing badly, right? I always try to get people to understand the difference between when we talk about whether or not a company is good or whether or not a company's share price is good. Yeah, so JETCON, the company, is doing fine.
Yeah.
Still selling cars, still doing okay. They're not in any trouble. Would I buy their shares? No.
No. I don't. Yeah.
That's another question.
I love to drop some more.
Yeah, man. I see. I mean, at $2.10, I think they have a PE of 34. Yeah, that's high, no? Yeah, I mean, they could chop that into, which means JETCON can easily be, but it fell below $2 the other day, you know? It fell below $2 recently, and some people grabbed that. So shout out to the people who bought it there. Anybody who bought it below $2 at $2.10 now, they're already in the green. But it looks like it's still overpriced, yeah?
Yeah.
So if you go off a PE basis, which I believe the market does.
Same.
Yeah, the market itself, of course, doesn't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah, don't agree, but you do it same way.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? It's like us. I remember saying that. Well, people who listen to the last episode would have heard me saying something weeks ago that I was told, which at this point in my life I believe completely, which is that men like to learn while pretending that they already know the thing that they. I see it in myself. I see it all over. Everybody, like, when the ego starts going, I can't come to you like I don't know.
I'm for go on, let me know. Explain everything to me right now.
I watch me. Yeah. I don't get it. I try always to edit how I put forward information to people with them in mind, to the best method of getting the information out to them. So, and it's easier, I think. For some reason, women gravitate more towards the message. I understand what I'm doing, and what I've gotten a lot of, especially in terms of positive responses. There are things that I seem to be being stubborn on or being hard with, and it's dumb. Sometimes people say, why not just tell it? But anybody who knows me and has gone through the process knows why I don't actually tell. Because when I force you to go through the process of finding out, you will never ever need to do it again. Big up my parents for that. But it's just, it started as an OG nerd. I used to read a lot, still read a whole heap. And I used to read, and you say, oh, mommy or daddy, what does serendipity mean? And they go, oh, I don't know what serendipity mean. Go on and get the, well, they said to me, I don't know. What does serendipity mean? I go, I don't know. I'm asking you. And they go, okay, well, how do you find out? And they used to make me go for the dictionary. Got to a point where I started just to read with the dictionary beside me. They kind of stick with it, and after a while you just don't ask them anymore. And so you learn to do it, and that's exactly what I try to brief to people. Not that I'm trying to have people go to the dictionary, but that I want, teach a man to fish. I want people to learn on their own, because I want, the best thing I'd have for people is to not need me or not need anybody. And that's what I like in systems and in companies. When a company sets you up, or a system sets you up in such a way that you don't need them, that's the best kind of company. And in the same way in teaching, if I teach people, if I'm saying, what's good in the market? And I say, Access, JMMB, then that's not what I think is good in the market, people. All right, that's just an example. But if people ask that and I tell them Access, JMMB, and them go out and they make money off Access and JMMB, that? Yeah, man, them going to say two things. Boy, Randy know him thing in them, tell me to pick and ray. And then them going to they need another pick, they're going to come back and say, what else is good? And they'll always need to keep coming back to me. That's great if you want to keep people hanging on to you. But if you want people to learn and push out on their own, you have to teach them. That's what I do. Of course, the bad side is when you do that, people don't see it that way. They get vexed. Yeah.
I've had mixed experiences. People message me and say, yo, what is stock doing, whatever. They don't ask me that, actually. They ask me to tell them what stock to buy.
It's always the same. Yeah, man. What going on the market now? What kind of pick do they know?
Yeah, you said you don't want to tell them, and them get vexed with you. You're mean. Yeah. You better tell your friend them.
Fast old Danhai that you know, man. Him know the thing. You say what money him say, man. When you ask him for a pick, him can't do nothing.
Yeah. Big up DJ Leng D on Twitter. Leng.
DJ Leng.
DJ Leng D. Yeah, man. Good youth.
I feel like I know that. I'll check my DM.
He was at Igro. He was at one of the Igro events.
Yes. At the back. Yes. Yeah. Big up.
Yeah, man. He just started investing, I think. I know he just started paying attention to the stock market heavily. And he's never asked me, Danhai, which stock to buy. But he asks about a company, or he asks, yo, what you think about whatever company? And then he goes by himself, researches whatever, gets his questions, and he comes back and asks questions and see if he can answer them. But he's not asking, yo, I should buy this company. He genuinely wants to be informed and wants to know how he can start doing this for himself.
Yeah, I rate people like that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, big him up for that. I rate people like that. I mean, that's why you and I started talking about this stuff so much, because literally he didn't ask me for any picks. He asked me about things. And funny enough, I have never lost that. To this day, like people ask me all the time, like, why do you answer the DMs? I get DM'd heavily. What? Why do you answer the DMs? One, I like to be nice to people. I figure if I was DMing somebody, I'd want them to at least respond.
Yep.
But then there are people, anybody who messages me one or talks to me, and what they want to do is to know about something. You get me? And I test them all the time. Same way, just like I used to test you, I test them all the time. I say, yo, read this, and I send them a link. All right, thank you. And usually it ends there. Yeah, yes. or what happens is that they think that they've established some rapport there. And so the next time they come back and they go, so what do you think about this QWI thing? Because they think that maybe my mind changed from trying not to go to jail for being an advisor when I'm not. Or in the 1% of cases, they come back and they say, well, what has happened, the ideal case for me is, I usually have an article I send them, I don't save and you shouldn't either. Check the blog out, everymickle.com. I talk about it in there and I said, pay attention to the links in there, because the links link to articles like which broker should you pick, which stock, how you know which stock to buy. It links to things that are natural questions. So if those people actually read it, they would see it and they'd click. Because you want to know which stock to buy, how you know which stock to pick. There's a link in there, you click it and you read it. When people do that, and then them go on and research, it's different. They come to me and say, yo, because here's the thing that really people do. I have $1 million in my thing, say, yo, I want to put now like JMMB and Sagicor. What do you think? I can't tell you that. Also, people ask that all the time. I can't take it on. Third, to answer that question properly, I actually have to do my research. So oftentimes when people ask me, them don't realize when I'm answering them, I am taking my phone up and I'm going through things to make sure and I'm confirming. I don't think people realize that's what's happening. Take time for me. And then imagine I get asked that 10 times a day.
Exactly.
But you have the 1 or 2 people who go read it, come back, and file them thing, and say, all right, listen, I like JMMB, but I like that they're doing a lot to grow the thing, but I don't know if it makes sense for them to buy in before this. I said, why you say that? Well, because of the rights issues. Yo, that question, why? I realize I ask it a lot.
Okay, trust me.
And I realize how people react to it is very telling of the kind of people. There are people who I say why to them and them get properly offended.
Yeah, man. Because as far as they're concerned, boy, they don't have an answer. So they start.
But that's why I'm come to you like I try to show me. I'm not trying to show you, but I'm saying why, because I'm trying to spur a specific kind of conversation that I want you to go down.
Sometimes I have the answer, sometimes I have the answer.
Yeah. Sometimes I know, but telling you is dangerous. People don't know that too. People don't know so telling them is dangerous, because guess what? I tell you, yeah man, no, JMMB good, yeah man, JMMB good.
And you buy JMMB forever.
And I forget that I told you JMMB was good. And then there are people who, to them it's a milestone event. So they remember that we had this conversation. Yo, you remember the stock on the table, man? What go on for them? I said, what that? You tell me for buy Access and JMMB, auntie? When? Yo, it's your random. I really don't remember.
Yeah.
Because that's a dangerous part. If I tell you when to buy, I also have to tell you when to sell. Which, if you think about it, is a route of what I used to complain about with the industry for years. That they tell people what's good and what's bad, but they don't put any time periods on it. Big up Simon, who said that his team now, whenever they put out anything, there's always a timeline on it.
Oh,
It
yeah.
says either 1 year or 3 to 5 years.
Rate that still.
Yeah, I rate that. I rate that. That is where the industry needs to get to, because
Definitely.
I won't go into my long speech about the industry and the role of analysts in the industry as a lifeblood. I'll just say this: in America, they have this thing called earnings beat, and it's when a company comes out and they release their earnings and they beat analyst expectations.
Yeah.
Not what they did last year, not what they did last quarter. Analyst expectation is the thing that they measure against, which means that every single quarter there's at least one analyst in America who is saying,
"Oh yeah, man, you get me this amount of money." And
if you bring it to Jamaica, exactly. Carib Cement I expect them to make 20% more this quarter than they did last quarter with a cash position of blah blah blah, yada yada yada, right? And then if Carib Cement comes out and Carib Cement goes 21%, earnings beat, because not only have they beaten what was expected of them, they've beaten it, they've gone way ahead. Or sometimes you have the opposite, which is because you miss the expectation again of the market, of the analysts in the market, not your performance last year. In Jamaica, we measure based on last year performance. Why? Because nobody wants to say, I think that they will do XYZ, because God forbid I get it wrong. Then you might become a better analyst.
And we're not knocking
people who get it
last year
wrong.
expectation. That's fine. Like,
yeah, it's cool to do that. It's cool to measure based on that. Of course.
We want to hear the analysts be more vocal about what they think will happen for the company.
But yeah, I just want analysts to be more realistic. But I understand also why they can't, because if you start any analysts overseas, even my overseas trading that I've done, you have to understand and get deep into the company and understand the same things I talk about. Same thing I talk about at Grow. I have a Grow coming up. If you're hearing this today, Wednesday, there's a Grow coming up on Friday. Go to evermickle.com and sign up for the Grow event. Sign up for the mailing list. And when you sign up for the mailing list, you will be sent an email for the Grow list. So if you're a newbie, if you're just coming to the market, if you want to understand stocks, you want to have an idea of how I do it, Grow event is this Saturday. I'm saying August, it's not August. It's Saturday, September 28th. I think at this point there's still a couple of seats left. I don't know if many seats left, maybe 15 if so much. I haven't checked it all day, but yeah, there's some 15 seats left. And there's also streaming. So you don't have to come. If you don't have the time, if you don't want to come nowhere, if you want to sit on the comfort of your yard, there's streaming.
Yeah.
So you can look that up. So that was an ad for the Grow event from Evermickle.
But yeah. Evermickle paying for that, sir?
You know what? Evermickle is going to pay for that, because earnings season need to make some money. If you guys have, for ad inquiries, email randy@evermickle.com. But yeah, outside all of that, I am happy when people show that they're doing the research and understand that I am almost never trying to say to somebody who messages me, and I'm never trying to diss them, I'm never trying to show them up, but what I'm trying to do is to see if you are worth taking the heavy time out that it takes to teach you something, to have you understand it. Because I could just tell you, the worst thing I can do is just tell you a pick. I said that to a brethren of mine already. When frustrated and what's going on, and I say, yo, you're not taking it on. I get that it's bothersome for you, and I know that you're impatient, you just want to hear it, but you're what? I'm going to start telling you things that I think are good. But the downside of that is sometimes I don't remember to tell you to sell it. I can't really give advice. I can't charge for it. So I'm not an advisory person. Things exactly.
Boy.
Yeah, the people that you mentioned a couple episodes ago, the people who bought JSC at $40, because a couple of them messaged me. Them buy 30 odd. Somebody else messaged me, said they bought near the peak in the high 30s. For that is their first time going in.
God. Wow.
Now, imagine somebody like that hearing me say that JSC is a good company.
Good company.
Which it is. Which is growing. It really is.
The stock price isn't necessarily the company.
Yeah.
The stock price is the market's perception of the company, or somebody being okay with buying at a higher price than what everybody else is okay with. Prices fall. So if we say a company is a good company, doesn't mean, hey, go, let's buy now.
Oh, I mean, I agree with you, Danhai. It's literally, we should make the mistake of thinking that the stock price or the share price is the company's health, because it isn't. A company can be very healthy, but its stock price is falling because maybe it was overvalued at one point.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Stock price can be flying up and people are just going off something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't confuse the stock price with the company, and don't confuse asking me if a company is good with a company being actually good. People, maybe if you're listening to this, understand that what I expect is that you're asking me, do I think that this is a good company to buy into? Yeah. And then it's not just that, because I can't answer that either. It's no, the real question is, do I think that this is a good company to buy into to match my goals over the time period that they exist? Which I need to know your goals, I need to know your time, the people who come to grow have heard me go on and on about this. Then I know it innately too. So, if you listen to this, you don't understand, come to grow, or understand that I'm not trying to diss anybody when I'm talking, but I'm trying to do the best thing. I'm trying to teach you to fish, not fish. Sorry, I don't want to sound too privileged. I couldn't. We got about 30 minutes, so I held it as long as I could. Oh my God. So that licked me hot? First of all, I've never been called privileged from Dubai before. Homeboy picked up his cell phone in Dubai and called me privileged. Don't understood what he's saying. I know you're going to say, we need to be context, because I tell people all that time too. And thirdly, or third, whatever one we're on, I don't know that he was talking about me, Kai was talking about me. But let's be serious. So now people say hashtag the finance thing or the people on Twitter talking about, they usually just mean me. I don't know what to say to privilege. For the very first time in years, somebody's bringing something to the people, and I'm doing something that I don't need to do. Something that it don't really help me. I don't need to do it. I would much rather keep my mouth shut and make my money quietly, like all the people who have made money before me and are making money with me now are doing quietly. The ones that are actually making money, them don't really talk. It's few and far between you find the people who are really pushing it. Even Ryan, big up 5 Saleh as mandatory every week. Even Ryan hasn't. You can't take it on. Doing it now, I realize how much it takes just to push people. People expectations of you are huge. And here I am writing an observer thing every week, making sure to take the language of the finance world and put it into, I don't know. It's like, I don't think people understand that. I don't think people understand that the biggest thing that I do, which is also the thing that causes me the most trouble, is the fact that I don't speak like an industry professional. I don't speak like an accountant. Sorry. I don't speak like an accountant. Speaking the language of the people instead of speaking the accepted finance language.
The jargon.
Yeah, man, the jargon. And the jargon gets you a lot of respect very quickly.
Oh, yeah, man, trust me. I know people rich off, not rich, but they're reputable off jargon alone.
Completely. Completely. And so that's why I have a whole heap of respect for anybody who is trying to bring that to the people. And I mean, I don't want to sound like a bitch too much. I feel like a bitch too much sometimes. But at the end of the day, it's one person, me, or in this case, not even me alone, because there are a lot more people, right? There's Simon, there's David, have people, there's Ryan, there's people who, at any given time, is one person who has to deal with a lot of people hitting them, plus their entire lives. So that's all I have to say. Let's not have the people who are trying to get other people better feel bad.
Yeah, man.
Let's encourage what is a good thing, because the option has always been there for them to remain silent and keep the money. And if you look on those lists, those top 10 lists, you see a lot of names that is the first you're hearing them, but they have been there for a long time, which means you're not hearing from them. Now, not dissing anybody who make them money on any top 10 list, but we have to understand that it means that if people, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Okay, that's okay. All right. Yeah, big up me. Big up me. Big up the lab. We're editing the whole of that, by the way.
They would hate it.
We are editing the whole of that. Anyway, people who are on top 10 lists have made money, and they're not all of them balling out. Some of them used to ball out, some of them talk. Some of them show it, some of them do their part. The junior market has a whole heap to say thanks to.
Yeah, man.
To a gentleman from Grace. You must know his name. He's one of the people, you say Ardisha is a father. He called himself the father of the junior market. Well, this guy from the private sector is who wrote the paper and suggested it.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It was Don Webby.
Yeah.
Sir Webby. Sir Webby has done a lot to grow Jamaica. I've never met him, but I'm happy for what he helped push forward. Don Webby was big with the proposal. Again?
Big up to my pocket because of that.
Yeah, but then watch this. Look at Don Webby's pocket.
Yeah.
He's rightfully compensated. He owns a good amount of Grace, as he should, because he's put a lot of his life into building that. How much people has Grace helped? There are companies on the market now that used to be divisions in Grace.
Yeah,
Yeah, some of them great. Some of them like T-Tech, trucking, keep going on, Others, not so great. Like SRA, which is that's a weepy case
next
these days.
Boy. SRA.
Yeah, that's a weepy case these days. I don't even know what's happening there.
So the most recent news, and the first thing you pointed out is that their gross profit is basically flat, and most of the revenues are gone.
No, what gross profit? They don't have any profits. No, you're the gross profit.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
so
You said profit and I'm frightened because they don't make profit
They
anymore.
had 55 million less revenue, and they made this gross profit was the same as last year.
I think that's an improvement. Well, obviously, mathematically, that's an improvement.
Mathematically, yeah. So,
but it's a questionable improvement.
So you don't know what's happening.
What was happening?
What was happening before? What's happening now? Yeah.
55 million is their companies whose revenues on the stock market in one quarter isn't 55 million. And they lost 55 million in terms of revenue. And yet the gross margin didn't move. That's crazy. And they said they're going back to selling pigs because apparently they stopped not selling, buying pigs.
Buying pigs, yeah.
But I think 2 quarters ago they told us that they couldn't get people to sell them pigs because people weren't selling them pigs. And I wondered why when I read that, and it was weird.
I know, we know.
And I can
idea.
understand.
We have an idea.
And people send me messages. People send me all kind of messages. It's weird hearing what's happening on the ground. It's interesting hearing what's happening on the ground or what people say, because anybody can say anything, right? I don't know these people myself. But
you know, yeah,
people talk.
Exactly. A lot of people are informed about companies in a small way. Just because they more past the place every day.
Not a lot, yeah, exactly. And those people are the people that a lot of people discount.
Which is
you learn more talking to a security guard outside that sit down in the parking lot than you learn sometimes reading the company's numbers. Not to say you shouldn't read the company's numbers. I want to be clear, I'm not telling people not to read the company's numbers. If anything, you definitely have to read the company's numbers to find a correlation between real life and the numbers. That's what I think I'm good at. That's what I've learned, earn a lot of money off doing. And that's what I still do. And that's what I do for near free. Well, for free, online, in the newspaper. All right, but anyway, people, I think that's enough of me bawling and moaning. Nobody wants to hear me, bitch, especially not me.
What's good in the market?
Yeah, let's talk about something that's good in the market. Let's reward the people for all the crap that they've heard. And I've heard that acquisitions. Okay, yeah, no, let's talk about the thing that's very popular right now because people want to hear about it. Right. The Access Financial's sale of... Proven Financial's sale. Is Proven Financial or is Proven a group? Proven is a group.
I believe.
Yeah, the Proven investment company.
Well, Proven Investments.
Yeah. You're just giving wrong information. I know they say, you see that? You can't listen to that. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He doesn't. Proven Financial, what is that?
It's a new company, yeah?
Yeah, but it's
Proven Financial Group.
That company run by Chris Williams, notorious among young people. Because, like we say, Chris Williams, he's one of those people Ryan mentioned in his episode how he saw bunting, you know, and he recognized as somebody who had, as a young person, at least somebody my age in the 30s, you can see somebody who has moved forward. It's like, is that older man, but you know, you see somebody moving, and you see Chris Williams, you know, as somebody as young who, I mean, there's no denying what he's built. Even just with the sale, of those Access shares. I bought those Access shares at a little over $1 billion.
You paid $9 per share for them or so?
$1.
Oh shit! Okay, cool.
Yeah. They spent 1.12 billion to buy them 9 years ago.
And look at that.
I know they're selling.
Well, same thing we're talking about with Ryan. You buy it and you sell half of it for nowhere as much as
a quarter. But you're selling so much that you're literally bringing liquidity to this company. Think about it. They're bringing more liquidity.
Exactly, because the shares were held before.
They're bringing more liquidity than a junior market company has. Because a junior market company has 20% public. And the reality is a lot of that 20% is still held up, right?
Yeah.
Between closer people, blah, blah, blah. No, 25% is hitting them over. I mean, a lot of them going to be the pensions we're buying, obviously. The banks going, but you have some rich people who just buy. You have people who have money that going to say, I want a piece of that.
Wow.
You have people that are just going to buy it and they're putting 25% of that straight to the market. And if the offer is strong enough, they say they'll upsize.
Yeah. For years, I hear balling from Access. People want to own Access. People that have owned it. Liquidity, man, kill them.
It's hard to get shares.
Yeah.
Really, really hard to get shares. QWI, that's a double whammy. QWI owns 100,000, I think 100,000 shares in Access.
And Select Funds. That's funny you mentioned those two. So that'd be Access. So you don't hear this funny thing I think about Select Funds, right?
Proven is, well, before we get there, I have to do the last piece in the puzzle. So JMMB. So JMMB is going for 22% of, we have to go there, Sagicor. It's such a long web. So Sagicor group, the regional group, there's a buyout offer happening in Canada.
With AlignVest.
With AlignVest, right? JMMB said they're going for 22%. So they've just made that public know that they're going for 22% of AlignVest.
Yeah.
They're paying for this, or paying for part of this at least with...
The access shares that are being sold.
No.
JMMB.
With a rights issue.
The rights issue like thing they're doing.
Yeah. So we mentioned that at the top. Did we mention that at the top, or did we mention that before we started recording?
I think we mentioned at the top.
Yeah. Look at me get myself in trouble. Anyway, so yes, guys, we do talk about things before we start recording. So JMMB is paying for that with their rights issue, or paying for part of it or whatever with the rights issue. Proven. This is, I think, I guess I've only heard a few people say, but I figure by now most of the industry know it's pretty obvious. Or maybe they don't, so yes or no. Proven pretty much has to buy the extra shares, because if JMMB does an issue, it's going to dilute them, as we mentioned earlier. If that's how it comes out, I haven't seen the paperwork myself, but if that's how it looks, so if JMMB does an issue...
They own around 20% of JMMB.
Which allows them to refer to them as an associate company. Yeah.
So they get a line item in their income statements, share of profit in associate. So any amount the associate gives them,
20%
any amount associate makes, they make 20, is added as income to them, 20% of that number. With JMMB's issue, they stand to be diluted if they don't take part in the issue. They can buy the shares on the market, but talking about if issues come to them and them care.
Pretty much is saying that they have to keep owning 20%. 20% of them allows them to put a profit line in the financials saying that they own, that they get that share of profit. No, JMMB is always going to make a nice profit. Even if it goes up or down, it's a nice profit they make. And 20% of that comes to Access. And the only cost of doing that is owning the shares. It's a nice little thing, right?
If they get diluted, then they drop below 20%, that they can no longer report that line item. So the way I see it, they have to buy 20% of the company. Or 20%, at least 20% of the new shares being issued.
Yes, in order to keep their ownership status. Yeah. But that's even nicer, because think about that. JMMB is going to get to own Sagicor Group. For 22% of the Sagicor Group for the Caribbean, right?
And that's a new line item for them.
That's a new line item. Wow.
And Proven
is going to get 22% of that piece that JMMB is getting. And that's going to hit them. They can't afford to drop below 20% because they can't lose that. But two, who don't want to eat a new food?
So they might just buy more.
That's billions, you know. I don't know if anybody work out those numbers yet. Oh my God, it's billions.
I'm sure I have it on a calculator somewhere.
It changes so much about the entire sector. It pumps money into Jamaica that never exists, and it's coming from Canada.
Exactly. We're taking this Canada. I love hear that, you know.
You have no idea.
When look at Jamaica have a company that's abroad, just smashing up the place.
And we have an advantage that nobody else don't have. You can't scare us with being poor. We've been poor for so many years. We know how to operate down there. You guys have huge margins. We can do all kinds of crazy things with that.
Definitely.
Foreign margins, nice, you know. Foreign numbers are so huge that they can have 1% and 2% margins, and it's nothing. Right, I'll tell you about some of those margins and some of those. That's why software companies were such a big deal, because they had huge margins. And even now they eat into the margins, you know, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, right. Whoa.
But in Jamaica, our financial sector, which is the financial sector in America, or in any developed market, because it's not just America, in London also, the financial market is so expensive. Even just the cost of an employee there, a low-level employee in the financial sector in a developed country is heavy. How much do you think it costs a bank to have a teller?
Yeah.
I mean, it's expensive, don't get me wrong, but it's not US expensive.
It's not US expensive.
It's not US expensive at all. And they can affect changes here and affect things in those markets and bleed money through Canada. Or take away market share, because Canadians used to own it, right? So we're taking something that used to be over there now and we're putting it here. And that money coming into Jamaica and through Jamaica to the region.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's billions.
Acquisition just pumping through our market this week. So first that was that.
No, hold on. I said all of that to say that is going to hit Sagicor, JMMB, Proven.
Whoa.
it's going to hit the big dog NCB. It must. It might even hit the one's big dog Scotia, who is paying out a lot of money these days. So, because maybe it looks like they're paying out a lot of money. It looks like people are leaving to me. That's what I think it looks like. But they're paying out a lot of money, and it's going to hit them. It's going to hit everybody in this market. It's going to hit regular people who just own a lot of NCB shares. It means our financial sector is going to grow. And we have an entire index that tracks that. And there's a company out there that tracks the index.
Whoa.
And how long do you think it's going to take before the JMMB and the Sagicor deal happens? Because once it happens, a quarter that it has to hit the books.
It has to, wow.
The books are about to blow up, which means the NAV of them is going to grow. The market hear about it, the things are going to...
Money on top of money. Money making more money for money.
Oh my Lord. The Select Funds things are a really good index. It's like they did it. I mean, the timing is great. The timing is great. Yeah, I can't knock them for that. Timing is great. Really, really good timing.
Jano. Wow.
I just mentioned a lot of companies. Anyway, I think the Access deal will happen. I think one of the most important things is that a company that was tightly traded is no longer as tightly traded. And you find now that means, I think it's going to change a lot for Access. It's happening at a time also, and I think their market is getting very tight.
Yeah.
Margins getting tighter. I mean, there's growth there, but I think they're constrained on the one hand by what technology allows them to do.
Yeah. They're pushing though. They're pushing.
Yeah, they're doing stuff.
So even acquired an next company. That was some time ago though, last year.
Yeah. They're always acquiring, but they're acquiring something overseas the other day. They acquired something in Florida.
Yeah.
I think either last year or early this year. I think it finalized. They bought a loans company in Florida, which means they own an American corporation, that can do nice little things
time
also.
and time again, bro.
Yeah. I'm really impressed with where Jamaica is now. In 10 years. Access was the first company to ever list on the junior market. So it was like almost like the test case. It's gone through all the ups and the downs, but at the end of the day, it is huger than where it was. Access had a 10-to-1 stock split at $18 something. So they split from $18 something down to $1.80 something cents.
Whoa.
And the stock price went all the way back up to 18. And now that those shares that are being sold at $32, almost double that.
Money made, bro. Wow.
And all of that built off of Jamaica. And it was always here. It's just we weren't the ones getting it. I'm really proud of this country.
What?
Really, really proud. Like, I'm impressed. And I see the money there, and I see what's happening. And to know that people have a chance to literally participate in that and own it too.
Access operates abroad. It's operating abroad.
Yeah.
When they make money, this is Jamaicans, so us as shareholders, put their hand over into the US.
Yeah.
Put in some US man pocket and take it right back over here.
Tax free.
Because
if I own the shares, I don't have to worry about the hand
transfer
holding.
the money.
Yeah.
No. It just
The company worries about that. In fact, the company doesn't have to move it. The company just have to acknowledge that it owns it on the books.
And you're not coming with a dividend payment or something like that. So
it might do like a one dividend payment, might do a heavy dividend. Well, I mean, usually after you acquire something, you drop a dividend or two to pay yourself for acquiring it, assuming that the company's books can handle it. But it's why is that funny? Has somebody done that recently?
I'm not at a Barita.
Yeah, but big up Barita though. Big up Cornerstone.
Yeah.
Big up Cornerstone. That's good business.
Smart moves, good business indeed.
Yeah. The dividend they paid the other day, I think, was handsome. It's a nice chunk of what they paid for Barita that they paid for. So
money made, bro. Money made.
It's the right time to be in the financial space in Jamaica. It's the right time to I mean, I'm no expert. Definitely not certified. But I think I know a thing or two, and I think I know that it's the right time to make if you're making a long bet on a long-term sector in Jamaica, the financial sector is a really, really good bet. And financial sectors can swing, yes. They swing. They can swing. But things to me look like they're handling it. Because not only can they swing, they can also control a swing. When I hear them talking about giving small business owners more credit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That means know that they have to pay attention to it. And you're not going to list a company do it. You can't do it one time and stop.
And big up the boss, Nigel Clark. Honorable Nigel Clark. Yeah, man. So,
yeah, man.
Him freeing up the asset tax on the financial companies is so the more money we need for the microcredit that you keep borrowing about.
I didn't even remember. I should think about that. Think about that. Think about it. So there's no asset tax.
There's no asset tax.
Which means that immediately, on whichever quarter that comes into law, that quarter NCB profit automatically goes up.
Exactly.
And Sagicor,
the expense is no longer theirs.
which means the profit automatically goes up. Which means that the index that tracks that must go up.
I was going to say,
Select is like, you know, I like Select. Here's something I like. Here's why I like Select. It makes it easy to make a long-term bet if you want a long-term bet.
Yeah. It's like, I believe in the financial industry. Just buy the industry.
Boom. Exactly. Buy the industry. You believe in the industry, just buy Select.
Like, I know say the money, I got get some money out of me.
Yeah.
Over the next 5 years. Buy this at $1.
Yeah, if you don't like
everything.
yeah. Oh God. All right. So we just said buy Select, and I forgot to say that we're not financial analysts. We're not we're not recommending anybody or anything, blah blah blah. Obviously, none of us are experts. We're not doing that officially. But to me, how I see it, what I'm thinking is, if I believe in this thing over the next 5 to 10 years, and I think they're going to make money, and I'm a person who say, yo, I want to put on some money for the next 5 to 10.
You know,
Select F is a very easy option to do that, regardless of the price. And the price right now at $1, so it's in the teens, I think. So $1 something is literally easy, easy to see as a long-term bet. If you're doing that, if you're into that stuff.
Remember, you do not have to be privileged to buy Select funds. That's the point of it.
Oh God, don't touch my privilege.
So
anyway, so I think I give people something good. I think we give people something good there. We talk about a lot of companies that are in a line to make a nice money. I did talk about that thing with Marcus James. I said it would be great if he floated a bond on his own and came in, because you only need to buy like 7% to trigger a mandatory offer. So if you get a bond that's big enough to cover the 7%, or you can buy that out of pocket, I'm sure. And to buy the 7% to trigger the mandatory buyout offer, and cover the cost of the buyout offer, and I'm talking full buyout, so delist. And three, pay the penalty. That, because you know, if you delist, he has to stay listed. This is 10th year.
Yeah.
So the tax break is done for him almost.
Just pay back all the taxes.
So if he delists, he'd have to pay back all. But I mean, you can also calculate that number. To me, I think if you calculate that number, you divide it by 135 to get the US figure. It becomes a very regular bond US figure. Very, very, very regular. That's a very regular 8% bond. The 8% is nice for a bond too. That would sell fast. Right now, especially right now. Somebody giving a 68% bond, that's a great, that would fly off the shelves. And it's a company that's listed, so you can tell what's happening there. So everything that you already have, you can do, and the cost of it is that you have to pay back the tax break to the people of Jamaica who did give it to you. But guess what? I'm okay with that, because that's like he took a loan from us. I know it's weird that I think of it that way, but it's like he took a loan from us. He took a loan to grow. He grew, like I said, did a 10-to-1 stock split, and he come back and meet it. So you see, that's an order of magnitude each time, and we're now double that, almost double that.
Man, basically lend us the company and give it back.
Yeah, he lent us a piece of needle. So I would do that.
Pass it back.
Yeah, and the cost for it is that I'm going to have to pay the tax back through this bond at maybe 8% over the next 10 years, but that's a very regular bond. And it just means, in reality, it just means that all you're doing is you're cutting your profit margin by the percentage interest on that bond, right? But guess what? Now I own back 100% of this much huger thing, and I can give myself a very stupid dividend every year.
I'm not. So he owns about what, 48% of the company right now or so?
47, 48, thereabouts, yeah. Whatever it is, because I had worked out, I think it was like 7% to get there.
Oh, yeah, so 43, sorry about that.
Whatever it was. I'm sure somebody's screaming the right numbers right now, or saying somebody say, you see, they don't even know what they're talking about. Whatever it is, 7-8%, and it triggers the buyout, the mandatory buyout for them.
So his claim on profits before was 43%. So imagine his claim when
at
he buys
100%.
Yeah, he can pay that finance expense of that loan, and the 57 that he gave back, that paid him good. Yeah, not worry about that. So I know a lot of people think that the idea is crazy, and it is crazy. Sure, it's dumb. It's one of those weird things that you do if you're flying high or you're in billions or something. But those guys actually do live in the Jamaican version of billions. That's what you do if you're hungry. Exactly. He has had a rough time. He's had the highs and the lows of the market. Yeah, he has had a rough time going into what I think is the upper level of the market now, because as a first person, he has gone through everything. He's known what it's like to sell so much of your company to the market. And then also on the flip side,
feeling your company grow so hugely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's had the rough patches and he's had a lot of the good patches. I think maybe I could see being in his shoes and saying, you know what? The price of saying thank you to that and thank you for helping me grow this way and getting to the point might be a big bond, and I just go for it.
But right back.
Yeah, this company can take a bond. It's done bonds before. It can take a couple of bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a bond at these days when the debt is pretty cheap. They have a bond out there. It'd be interesting if people look at what the cost of the last Access bond percentage was, and then look at what current bond rates are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of room for a lot of things you can need money. Even at the last bond price, even at the last bond level, you can get a lot more money these days, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In his shoes, I could do it, but I'm not in his shoes, so I can't say anything. Anyway, so you hear me chat a whole evening about a bunch of companies. Anything else that you like? Let me try and wrap it up because we've been talking too long for this one.
I like VM acquiring that company. Well, taking a stake in that company. The
Barbados.
The peer-to-peer lending company.
Yeah, the Barbados online. Yeah.
Online.
Big up Barbados. Big up the finance minister of Barbados. I have met her. She's also the prime minister. She's pretty cool. Mia Motley. She's a really cool lady. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And she knows her. She's the prime minister and the finance minister. Mm-hmm. When I heard that, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. I know she's doing a hell of a job. But I can say that because I don't live there. But the time I've been there, it's a beautiful place. It looks like it's working out.
So privileged.
Yeah. So for them, a company like that with their society, yeah. You can't stop with this privilege thing, my lad. You really want to get me in trouble. Finish telling people about the company and let's wrap it up. Please, go ahead.
It's a peer-to-peer lending company. So it fits right in with VM and it's lending direction as it went with the VMIL, the whole VMIL listing move. Mm-hmm. So it really fits into them. And it's an associate stake, I think, at this point. So they may acquire more in the future. Maybe even list it. And then I want the VM be more aggressive on listing companies because they have an investment banking arm. They've listed companies before. So speed it up now. Do some more. What else?
Yeah, what else? I mean, I do like that. I like them making that move also.
Mm-hmm. Jamaica Brothers, they bought further into America. I think they bought a plant. This is the first time they're bringing Best Dressed to America. So before it was eggs and the starting stage. It wasn't a brand that they're pushing, a brand of chicken. Now, this new purchase they've made is going to be rebranded to Best Dressed, and the Best Dressed brand will be pushed in the American market. So they're going into a new market for them. Their chicken Best Dressed will be in the American market. Mm-hmm. And further to new markets, that's in a state they were not in before. So they're in a new state, new product. Boy, money that's to me still. They use
a funny term in part of their press release. I think somebody says the first time they'll control the full vertical.
Yeah. Full vertical.
That is top talk right there. That's the full. McDonald's is a full vertical company.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, McDonald's owns the farms that has the chickens that they kill to make the burgers. They own the farms that have the wheat. They own they own the full vertical.
Whoa.
McDonald's controls everything from the growth to when it hit that plate in front of you. Owning a full vertical is something that's very respectable in business and it's very powerful. Apple has put a lot of work into owning the full vertical of the iPhone. They own the mines. They own the smelters. They own the aluminum companies. They own the companies that ship it to them. They own the full vertical. They get the entire thing design. They own the company they own the company that buys from Samsung. Because what happens is that their factory buys the screens from Samsung. But that factory that's putting it together, Apple own it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then stuff like Foxconn that they own a huge chunk of. They own the full vertical. That's a top thing to say. And for a Jamaican company to say that they own a full vertical of a food source in America.
I can only remember when some American chicken was being advertised in our newspapers.
Oh yeah, about the yeah. I'm not sure if I can say anything about that. Other than that,
moving straight past that.
No, but you know what? Big up the chickens in Jamaica. Big up JBG. I believe in that company. Yeah. I like my Jamaican companies. Big up JBG. I'll say that forever.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Big up KFC. What's KFC? KFC just bought Wendy's.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
From Wisinko food division, which is not part of the
It's
listed
not part of the
company.
listed company, so we never make no money off it. So.
Yeah, but guess what? I'm sure that maybe that part of the Wisynco group, if you go back, I'm sure it's owned by the person who owns the family group, and the family group or the companies above the listed company have been making moves because they bought the sugar factory, they bought the rum. The rum thing, and they brought rum into their distribution, and that I'm assuming that company still benefits from that food sale too.
I think so too.
So hopefully, Mr. Mahfood has something interesting coming with that money, or maybe just going to live better. You've been making some good moves. Thank you. Signed, a happy shareholder. Actually, I don't know if I own Wisynco shares anymore.
I haven't owned in a long while.
Yeah, I sold them.
Big up to the company, say me, because I did believe in them. What they're doing now, so. Big them up. Yeah,
I'm really happy. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, big up Wisynco. So I think we've given people enough. I've been talking and Jordan for a long time. Thank you very much, guys. This has been episode 7 of the earning season, the privileged out earning talk too much episode. I guess it's an episode where I spoke too much and sounded too privileged. I hope you guys liked it. I've been Randy at RTRO on Twitter.
I'm Danhai, Danhai on Twitter.
And this has been earning season.
Yeah, guys.